Hi friends, welcome back. This is your Ravi Kantala. I am your Selenium automation tester guide. Okay, fine. So last class we have discussed about that what is software testing and how the process starts if any requirement comes, where the process starts, starting with project manager, business analyst, product owner and designer, developer, tester and admin. So what each role does, we already seen that in the last video, and today I came with one new concept called defect status. So as a tester we do verify and we do validate. Verification is done on document, project related documents is called verification, and validation is nothing but testing on actual software is called as validation. Yes. As a tester, we do testing that functionality of that application as per client expectations. So if this any of the tester noticed any defect during their functional executions, that is considered as a defect. Yes. So if any defect you have noticed, so blindly you should not raise a defect. Okay, so here we need to check various parameters before you raise a defects. So before that, let me show you that what are the status, defect statuses before you raise the defects, what that statuses that need to be followed, we'll see first of all, then after we will see that what are the parameters that we need to consider before you raising a defect, we'll see a step by step. Okay, yeah. If a tester he has noticed any functional issue, so he will be defect status, any functional defect he noticed, he would be raising with the status called new, a brand new defect. If the tester has noticed, he will be make as a status new and assign to respect to development team. And if that developer the defect what you have raised is working from his end while he retesting, he may get chance to reject that defect, rejected. So if next is the defect status is duplicate. So if that the defect what you have raised, have you earlier raised anywhere that can be considered as a duplicate and stating that this defect got already raised and referring that the previous raised defect and written back to you, that's called duplicate status. And next is what deferred status. Suppose before you start your testing your application, you will be getting all the details, particulars like when to start, when to end the executions, if any defects comes, to whom you have to address the defects, who is the point of contact of developer, all such information you will be getting before you start your executions. So by that information you have raised the defect with a new status, and next the developer can take chance to reject when the defect is not valid, like it is working from his end, it's not working as a tester from your end, it is working from developer's end, is he reporting back to you as a rejected. Okay, and next is coming to deferred. When the deferred will be means status will be moved means whenever that suppose that is not related to functionality, is not related to fix that functionalities, maybe like some operations kind of issue it is. So who is the person can responsible for this part means some other operations team has to come into picture. So until that available person come into picture, it will be in a default status. Like in traffic signal, before you get a green signal, you get orange signal, which means stating that you have to be alert to move forward when green comes. A similar way, deferred is like waiting status, waiting for right person to assign this defect. Once right person has come into picture, it will be change status from deferred to assigned status. And next come to that if that bug is assigned to developer or some respect to operations team, he is supposed to be fix that defect. Then once he started working on fixing for that defect, so what will happen, the status means it will be like open. Open means what, the developer started working on that fixing of that defect. Okay. open, and once it get fixed, so the developer will make the status from open to fixed status, assigning back to the tester. Okay, what tester needs to do that? Tester will do retesting that defect. They will do retesting on that raised defect for make the confirm whether defect is fixed or not. Whether defect is fixed or not, he need to conduct a retesting part. In his retesting also, still the issue persists again. The defect is still it is repeating even after fix happens. Then what he can do? The tester of retesting, he can make a reopen. If the issue is persists again, even after fix happens also, issue persists again, then he can make a chance from reopen. Until it get fixed, we make reopen. If that got fixed, at final we do what? Close the defect. We do close the defect. Let me summarize these points. First, if any new defect you have noticed in functionally, so the tester will be raising a defect with a new status. And whereas if that defect you have raised valid defect, the developer feel like this is a valid defect, yes, he can accept and he can make to fix. Otherwise, he don't feel like it is a valid defect, then he can make a rejected. So if he is working in his developer environment, it's not working tester environment, which means you're not testing properly. So there is some metrics is there. If we don't want to reject your bug in various aspects and various factors that we need to check before you raise a defect. So I will tell you just a minute after completion of this end-to-end flow. So rejected. So if that defect is already raised, then will be called as a duplicate. Okay, it is non-duplicate, it is not rejected. Then coming to deferred, if that the developer is not right person to fix that functionality, some other operations team has to be involved to fix that defect, then it will make as a deferred status. And if that defect one right person has come into picture, that is changes status to assign and assigning to corresponding person. Once that the person has feeling that to start working to fix that defect, he will make change to open status. And once he has completed fixing that defect, then he can make a status from open to fixed status. And next assigning back to the testers. What testers will do? Testers will do retest, and during that retesting, if the issue persists again, then they will be reopening until it get fixed. Once all defects got fixed, then lastly they will do make a closing of this defect. Lastly, at last developer will keep the root cause. So what is the fix? Root cause means what? What is the fix for this defect? They will make as a root cause by the developer. Once the defect got closed, a final state developer will take chance to update the root cause for that fix for the defect. So here I would like to tell you some important points when testers raising any defects. Don't raise the defects blindly. We have to take some metrics. We have to take some precautions before you raise the defects. Okay. So first of all, let me tell you point to point. If any new defects you have raised, first what you do, first you check that functionality conforming in retesting twice and thrice in your system. Okay, cross check while retesting twice or thrice in testing. Okay. So cross check while retesting that twice or thrice before you raise the defect. Twice or thrice before you raise the defect. This is one checkpoint that everyone has to be considered. Defect has come means blindly don't raise the defects. Please follow these metrics, everyone. It's very, very essential. Okay. Cross check while retesting twice or thrice before you raise the defect in a same system. Okay, in a same system. And next, okay, fine, it is not working, even you tried for twice or thrice, even defect is still you are facing the same issue. So don't stop here, blindly don't raise the defects. Okay. So again, one more matrix. So you try to remove the browser cookies and tries again, because some browser, it stores all the browser history, right? So some cookies are good cookies, some are bad cookies. Bad cookies may interrupt your executions, and some temp files, system temp files also may interrupt your executions. So make sure before you raise a defect, try with retesting that while removing the cookies from your browser. Okay. So retest the test case while removing the browser cookies. Retest the test case. Retest the test case while removing the browser cookies and temp files. This is one more constraint checklist that everyone has to follow before raising a defect. Okay. And next, okay, even after removing the cookies and temp files, even I am facing the same issue. Don't stop over here and check retest the test case. It is the test case in different browsers and different systems. So maybe some compatible issues may come. So the issue what you have noticed that is not working in a Chrome browser. Maybe it might work in Firefox or it can be Safari. So because we have to test the same functionality in various platforms. Yes or no? So in that case, don't blindly raise the defects while testing twice and thrice only in one browser. Cross check in cross platform or cross browsers also. So maybe that is a compatible issue. It may be also. If it is not working in some system and some other system is not working, means that's also a defect, right? Yes. And next, and also check your network before while retesting. So check your network. Check your network. Check your network before you raise the defect, because the network is unstable when you are running your executions. That might be caused to slow down your executions, or some functionalities may not function properly. So that might be cause the defect. So, and one more thing, like one more checkpoint is maybe it is an intermittent issue. Sometimes it is working, sometimes it is not working. So of course, sometimes working, sometimes is not working also, it's a defect only. It's we can consider as a intermediate issue, intermediate, okay. Intermediate issue. While retesting, check for intermittent issue or not. Okay, and this is one more matrix needs to be considered. And one more constraint we can take, like yes. So you know that nowadays agile methodology. So daily we will have some deployments happens in backend, like non-working hours. Like suppose you take in lunch hours 1 to 2, we'll have a lunch break. By the time developers or deployment teams may plan for deploying the patches codes into that test environments. In that case, if your testing means definitely it will not works. Okay, check once any deployments going on while you are testing. Okay, while you are testing any deployments, maybe 1 to 2 is the downtime, like don't use the applications, maybe some downfall is there, some deployments are happening. If you work anything, some functionalities may not work like this, they will be giving a mail to all the project heads who are working for that respective project. So okay, fine, 1 to 2, okay, you never gone through that testing the application because of downtime. After 2 o'clock you try to execute, but deployment is not success. So okay, duration of one hour means they may not take 1 hour also, even though it might take half an hour also, it may complete some cases. So after 1 hour duration also deployment was not done. Some issues are there, they are fighting with that, resolving that issues, but you thought like 1 to 2 is the deployment time. After 2 p.m. you came to your chamber and try to do that executions. At that time you caught that issue. That's why before you raise all the these constraints needs to be considered before you raise the defects. Okay, first you check that, cross check the while retesting twice or thrice before you raise the defects in the same system. And second constraint is retest the test case while removing the browser cookies and temp files, and retest the test cases in different browsers and systems, and check your network before you raise the defect, and check for intermittent issues if any are there, and check once any deployments going on while your testing is happening here. These are all the checklist we have to consider before you raising a defects and assigning back to the developers. If you don't check these constraints, blindly you are raising a defect means definitely the developer can take chance to reject your defect and can state this any of these root cause stating that please check, remove the cookies, please check and in retest in some other browsers or kind of thing. Okay. So you have to be very careful while raising a defects, otherwise the defect can be made to rejected. I hope this video helps you in finding that defects, cross checking that a defect is valid defect or not. Based on that we are going to be raise the defect and will be assigning to respective developers. This is the defect status. So one is the new, so another is rejected, and next is duplicate and deferred, assigned, open, fixed, retesting, reopen, and closed. I hope this video will helps you a lot who are freshers or who not know about the testing. So this information is wealth for you, I guess. And keep tune our videos. I will be coming with some other next concept. So thank you very much for supporting. Have a nice day.